What is going on, people? Tunde again from Ceasar Graphics. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you will be notified when I upload my tutorials. So today we're going to be doing this lovely looking movie poster, and what actually inspired this was the situation of what is going on at the moment all over the world about coronavirus. But this is what we're going to be doing today. And without any further ado, let's jump into today's tutorial. These are the exercise file we're going to be using. The type of color we're using is called the Triadic Colors. And if you want to understand the use of colors, like how to combine colors, I have a tutorial on that on my YouTube page, so you can always go there and then watch the video. And I'm going to quickly explain where those colors are on this project. So if you look at the background, all right, the background of the project, you see we have this shade of blue here, all right. So these two blues are connected to each other. So what I did was I picked the color in between these two colors, and then I picked some from here and I picked some from here, which is, if you look at the hat of the doctors, you see this shade of blue on the hat of the doctors, and then for the face you see this shade of red. All right, if you look at the title, you see we have this shade of yellow, and then if you look at the lights on the side of my character here, you see we still have the same shade of yellow on the face. So let's start today's tutorial. A new document. I already have my size and width and my height and width set. So I'm just going to call this movie. Alright, and I'm going to just do this like this, and I'll say okay. I'm going to just bring in my background like so. Right, and I'll hold on Alt and scale this because I'm using Photoshop CC 2020. And the next thing I'll do is to create a new layer, and I'll call this blue. I'll hold on. Now I'm on my brush tool. Alright, so I'm going to hold on Alt and then sample a color from my background. Then I'm going to scale this big like so. I'm just going to brush like so to make it more darker. So I'm just going to bring in the first character, which is this. Just going to drag and drag. When you're trying to do designs like this, alright, my advice for you is when you're arranging your images, always picture this like the way it is in a 3D world, all right, where bigger things are closer and then the smaller ones are far away. Okay, so that's the concept I'm trying to achieve here. Thing is big, so I'm just going to shift select all the layers and scale it down. How I'm doing this is this. I'm trying to picture, I'm using the size of this person's head here to adjust the size of this one. So I'm using the size of this to adjust the size of this, so as to make it look more real. So I'm going to hit Ctrl H to hide the guides, and yes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just scale this down a little bit more, like so. This one here. And next, we are going to bring in the picture of the main character, which is this. So I'm just going to drag this and scale this real big. So I'm going to put this in a group. So I'm going to hit Ctrl G or Command G. All this doctors. So I'm going to add a vector mask on the doctor layer because I'm trying to clear this part of the layer. So I'm just going to select the brush tool. And I am just going to make sure this is set to black. So I'll do the same thing to this layer. So I'm just going to select this and I'll add a vector mask again. Increase the size of the brush and just then next I need to make this be above all the layers. Make this background, this white background box, the color of our foreground. So I'm just going to hold down Alt and click to add the color of the background, the foreground, and I'll hold on Ctrl T again on the blue layer. Looking at it now, the color of our characters are not uniform. So what we need to do now is to make everything uniform. So to do that, I am going to select the gradients adjustment, and I'll say I only want this to affect the layer of the doctors. Then I am going to, now don't forget to do this, click on the gradient icon, not the vector mask icon. I'll click on the box here, and then for my black, I'm fine with black the way it is. Then for this one, I'm just going to come here, double click, and then sample a color from here. Right, just going to sample a color from here, and then for this one, I'm going to delete this, and click on this and make a copy of it by just clicking once. Then I'll double click and push this up like so. Okay, so just going to position this here. So you know what, let's just make it more bluish. Notice I'm losing the light on this lady's outfit, so I need to push this back. Okay, so I'm just going to hit OK here, and now if you notice something here, the color on this two doctors' outfits is different from the nurses. So what we're going to do is we are going to go straight into the group, the doctors group, and I'm just going to right click to know the one I'm working on. So this one. So I'm going to select this layer and select the curve adjustment and just say apply to just only that layer. Start this down, then drop this down. Now when you're doing this, pay attention to the outfit on the other doctors just to see if what you're doing is actually working, like it's actually looking like what you are expecting. So for me, I think I am going to stop here. Like for the other doctor, I'm just going to right click again and then select the layer, which is this of the doctor, and I am going to select the curve adjustment again and say I want it to apply to just only that layer. Right, so I think I'm okay with this. Now looking at it now, we realize that the faces of our characters are now looking the way we don't want it. So how are we now going to fix this? We need to zoom in. All right, we need to zoom real close, and I'm going to be very fast with this. So I'm going to select the vector mask of the gradient map, and I'm going to select brush. The shortcut is B. So I'm selecting my brush tool now, and I'll make sure this is set to black the way it is here, and I'll start brushing. Now the type of brush I'm using is a soft round brush. Okay, so don't forget. So just in case you mistakenly brush where you're not supposed to brush, like for example, I mistakenly brush here now and I want to undo this. So instead of me hitting Ctrl Z or Command D on my keyboard, I can always hit the X key on my keyboard to switch from my foreground color to my background color, like the way I have it now. So if I'm on white and I brush, it will take out that part that I made the mistake. If I want to go back to black, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to hit X again and I'll go back to black. Okay, so this type of X, that's what I'm talking about. Reduce the flow of my brush because I don't want it to look like the color of the outfit is different from the body of the subject. So I am going to reduce the size of my flow to something around 5 is fine. All right, let's make it 5. 5 is fine, and I'll select the sunflower brush. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to brush the edges of the part that I took out the gradient map on my character. So I'm going to hit the X key on my keyboard and I'm just going to brush. All right. I hit this layer when I was taking out the gradient map on the image, so I have it back on now. But my notice is really affecting the look of the characters. So I need to move this back here. Let's see. Okay, for now, I think we just need to leave it like this. Now I realize that the effects of the curve adjustment is really affecting the face of these two characters. So what I'm going to do is I'll go straight into the group folder and I'll go to the brush, to the curve adjustment vector max, and I'm going to zoom in. 12 or 10 is fine. So I'm just going to, and I'll go to the layer of the other character and I'm just going to do the same thing. Now zoom out. Like so, and we need to now work on our character. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this layer and I'll zoom in, okay, on the layer of my character like so. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer and I'll call this burn. All right, and I'll change this to overlay and I'll check this box. Now I actually want to, what I'm trying to do now is I want to be able to make this side of my character more darker than this side. So I want you to look as if the light coming from this side is brighter than the one coming from this side of my character's face. So I'm going to just leave it like so. And then the tool I'm going to be using is going to be the burn tool. So I'm going to create a new layer again. So I'm going to hold on Alt and click. We'll call this burn again. And I'll make this overlay. Check the field overlay neutral color box, and I'll make a McQueen selection of all the doctors because I don't want this effect to touch the background. So I'm just going to hold down Control and Shift and then make a McQueen selection of all the doctors, and I'll move this here. And then I'll hit Ctrl H to hide the McQueen selection. Ctrl H. Yeah, so I'm just going to brush the side of their faces. Now this time I'm going to make my exposure, I'm still on the burn tool, so I'm just going to make my exposure to be something around 21. I'm going to match visible of all the layers, so I'm just going to hold down Control, Shift, and Alt with E because we need to add more depth to this. And I'll select Adjustment, and I'll select Black and White. Okay. Now you see, this is only affecting the layer of the doctors, which is wrong. So the reason why it's like that is because we did not remember to hit the Control D. All right, so we still have the marquee selection of the doctors. So to show you that that's what's actually going on, if I hit Ctrl H now, you see I still have the marquee selection. So to remove the marquee selection, I'm going to hit the Ctrl D or Command D on my keyboard, and I'll hit Ctrl H to hide the guide. So then I'll go to Image, Adjustment now, and I'll select black and white. So to push this out, all right, to boost the highlight, and I'll push this down to make the shadow more stronger, and I'm going to hit OK. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to change my blend mode to soft lights. Okay, now as you can see, we're beginning to see more depth in there. So I'm just going to push this down like so. Right, push this down like so. Okay, so but what I want to do is I only want this to apply to the shadow of this project. So I'm going to just blend if this. So I'm just going to double click here. Or I'm going to increase the size of my opacity just to make you guys see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to push this here. Now you see now that you're beginning to see that the effect is applying to is affecting my shadow and not my highlight. So it's taking the effect away from my highlight, and I'm going to hold down Alt and click to break this handles, and this should go back like so, and this should go in this way like so, and I'm going to reduce the opacity just a little bit like so. So I'm just going to hit OK. All right, now there's one other thing I want to do again. Now if you look at the eyeball of my character here, really giving us that effect that we want. It's not really making it look more interesting. So what I'm going to do is a layer, and I'll call this dodge. Okay, then I'll make this and I'll hit OK, and this time I'll hit OK. So if I zoom out now, you see this is looking superb. So this is the before and this is the after. Now you see the difference make a lot of sense. Then there was one other thing I want to do again, which is I want to make the light effect on my character here more stronger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Alt. Okay, and yeah, so I'm going to sample a color from the doctors. So I'm just going to hold on here. Sample this color from Danny. Right, so brush. You see I'm on the wrong tool, so I'm just going to go back to the brush tool. I'm just going to brush here, so just go back to 100. And I'm going to make a marquee selection of the character, which is this. So I'm just going to brush. And I'm just going to clear off this on the layer of the doctors, like so. So I'm going to zoom out now, and yeah, so I'm just going to double click here to apply the blend wave option. You know what, I'm going to use this, so I'm just going to push this here like so. Alright, I'll break it, and I'm just going to make this look more smoother like so. Then I'll change the blend mode to pin lights. Then the opacity should be reduced just a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright. Let's see what cool. I want more depth on the face of my characters here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match visible again. So I'm going to hold on Ctrl Shift Alt and E. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to apply the oil effect on my characters here on the project. So first what I do is, because you know, I mostly see this in movie posters, so this is how most of them do this. So I'm just going to go to image again now, go to adjustment, and this time I'll select threshold. All right, I'm going to select OK. Then I'll go to filter, stylize, and I'll select oil paint. Okay, so I'm going to leave my setting the way it is now. If you look at it, OK now, and I'll reduce the strength of But one other thing I want to do is I want this part to be more darker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to curve adjustment, and this time I'm going to push this down and push this down like so. All right, and I'll hit Ctrl I on my keyboard to invert this and select the brush tool. Then so I'm going to switch to my background color, which is white, and I'll brush. Now notice when you're doing this, don't make this get too much into the faces of the characters. All right, so I'm just going to brush here. This time I will use brightness and then push this down like so, and I'll hold on Alt and drag and drop like so. So I'm duplicating the effect, the mask on the curve to go straight into the brightness. So I'll select yes, the vector marks on the brightness, and I'm just going to brush like so. So for this one, I'm just going to reduce the opacity just a little bit, and I'll do the same thing to this. And I'll call this solid BG. Okay. So I'm going to still be on my brush tool, and I'm going to sample a color from here, like so, and I'll hit OK, and I'll start brushing. But make sure your blend mode is set to multiply, and then just reduce the opacity just a little bit. So I'm just going to brush like so. Okay. So notice this is making my project darker, so I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to reduce the opacity just like this. Alright, and so it looks as if I'm beginning to lose this lady here, so I'm just going to select this and I'll just switch to black, and I'll just take out this part from here, and I'll do the same thing here. Excuse me. So I'm just going to create a new layer. I'll hold this brush, sample a color from here. I'm just going to brush like so. I'm going to make mine visible again by holding down Ctrl Shift Alt and E. What I'm going to do next is to add oil paint effect again to this project. So I'm just going to go to filter, and I'll select stylize and choose oil paint. Okay, so this time I'm just going to leave everything the way it is. So look at the setting that I have here, 4.2 for this stylization. Then the cleanliness is 0.6. The scale is 0.8, and then the brush to detail is 10.0. Now don't forget to uncheck this box here, because if this is the first time you're launching this is going to be checked, and it's not going to make our project look the way we want it. So you need to uncheck this. Okay, and I'm going to just hit OK. Now as it is now, you see it's affecting the whole project, which is not part of the plan. So what we're going to do is we have to take out the most important part on the oil paint layer. So I'm just going to call this oil paint. Alright, so I'll add vector marks to this now, and I'll start with the eyes of the main character. So I'm just going to select brush, and then make sure this is set to black. The foreground should be black, so I'm just going to brush. Then the next thing we are going to do is I am going to apply noise to this. So I'll hold on Alt again and click, and I'll call this noise. And this should be set to soft light, and I'm going to check this box here. Then this time I'll go to filter menu and select noise and say add noise. So I'm just going to say OK. So I can even still reduce the opacity of the layer to what I want. Then the next thing we are going to do is I am going to bring in my color lookup adjustment. So I'm just going to select the adjustment icon, and I'll look for color lookup, which is this. Yeah, let's look for soft warm. Where down. I'm just going to hold down Ctrl Shift Alt and E. So I'm going to go to filter, camera filter. What I'm going to do is for my tint, I'm just going to add more pinkish reddish feel to the feel of my project. And for my shadow, I'm going to dial that down. All right, so my highlight needs to go up. All right, I'm going to push my highlight up so as to make the faces more brighter, and then the part where I have light tones should pop up more. And then for my whites, let's just dial that up a little bit like so, and this should go down like so. Then for the clarity, I'm going to dial this up. All right, so this is going to make this it's going to bring out the details on the project more. So I'm going to dial this, push this up like so. And then for the sharpen, I'm just going to dial that up like so. All right, so the advantage of applying that noise to this is what this shadow effect is bringing out now. So I'm just going to push that up to about this point. All right, and I'll go back to this. I'm going to hit OK. Now you see the difference. So this is the before and this is the after. Font that I use for this project called Graphix. So I'm just going to type. And so I'm happy you made it, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and please don't panic, guys. I know the situation of what's going on over the world, but don't allow what the media is saying to get you confused or get you scared. Nothing's going to happen to any one of us. Just let us keep having faith. I'm sure this is not going to last for too long. We're not going to experience this coronavirus by God's grace. Amen. And I'll see you guys in my next tutorial.